Okay, I am Bobo said I know I have a lot of questions about the Steve Sarowitz, Claire, what's her name? Ayoub audio.
Yeah, we're gonna go over
Lee
it step
said
by step.
I heard the audio this afternoon, and I'm Bobo said I heard it so many times.
Well, do you not want me to play the audio? Is that what you guys are saying? Are you guys like done with the audio?
No.
Because I
heard it so
queued
many
up-
times. There's so many questions. I think that they're eager to get into it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's absolutely do it.
So what are you going to do? You're going to play the audio, and
Yeah,
then
I'm
we're
gonna
going
play
to
each
talk
clip,
about it.
and then we're going to talk about them as we go through them, because there's a lot, and I think there's a lot more to this than I've seen, at least on the surface so far out there. Maybe some other people are covering it in this kind of depth, but there's some depth to this that I think is really interesting, and it's a place where we can do some speculating. We can't know anything, but there's some things like observationally before we even begin. I just want to say that first of all, we listened to the whole 38 minutes. Mm-hmm. I actually I've scrubbed through the whole 38 minutes 3 times.
I have a question.
Well, I was in the middle there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The first thing you can really tell in this video, or in this audio, is that Steve Sarowitz is sad.
Sad?
He sounds heartbroken.
Why?
Over the...
He doesn't just sound serious? He sounds sad?
No, he sounds sad to me. This is my observation. To me, listening to the tape, he sounds sad. He sounds like almost in a state of grief.
What?
And this is my observation.
No, but why do you think that?
Because I think he understands. This is what gets more and more interesting. He understood where this thing could go, like the bad that was coming with this thing, including this is why he was like, when you go over this audio, you can hear very plainly that he's like, look, if I've got to, I will. But he wants to avoid it. In fact, he says very plainly, like, hey, like, I don't think it's going to come to that. Because he doesn't want that. He just sounds somber to me, sad. He sounds melancholy. There's like a couple of moments where he perks up very slightly, and I can hear, like a tonal shift that I feel like really demonstrates like a different side to him that is not this melancholy. So maybe this is his default, sort of way of being. But to me, I feel like he's heartbroken. I feel like that's very clear. I feel like this has, all the blame, he puts all the blame. So sorry, I'm sliding off screen, guys. He puts all the blame on Blake Lively, of course.
Okay. I just also want to set this up too, just like for anybody that isn't really sure about the context of this audio. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Claire Ayoub, she directed a film that was produced by Wayfarer Studios. Okay.
Yes.
Produced or distributed, funded somehow, right? She thanks him for funding.
Right.
She had an issue with Justin Baldoni on set, or maybe at the premieres. I don't know if her film had premiered yet, but whatever. She had an issue, and she had requested from Wayfarer that he not be allowed on her set anymore.
Correct.
And not allowed to participate in any of the publicity or anything. She was like, I don't want to see this dude again.
It's so interesting that you say that, because there's like, it gets weird because like at the end, Steve Sarowitz is all but trying to sell Justin Baldoni to her.
Yes. And I think that he's got that in mind. So the reason why she recorded this audio
Which
is
makes
because
me think then he was intimidating her, potentially.
I think so too. I definitely think that he chose to relay this information to her specifically. I don't think she got the threat, but I think he was making a threat. Okay, but listen. So she said, I don't want Justin around anymore. And she said that Wayfarer was totally accommodating, that everything was cool. But then she hears from Steve Sarowitz's assistant that he is calling a meeting. And she's like, oh, okay, well, what's it about? He's not saying. There's no express topic for the meeting. And so she's just assuming that she's going to get dressed down by him, or that she's going to be somehow
over the Baldoni incident.
Yes, or that something bad is going to happen. She's just assuming, because like you have to prepare for the worst. If you had what you perceive as a conflict, you thought it blew over, but then the big mahuff is calling a meeting with you, like you're just going to assume something's going to happen, right? So that is why she's recording this conversation. And it sounds like it's a video call. Like she says, nice to see you again, but he's obviously on a call. Like you can hear his audio is different.
Right.
So I think she's doing like she's sitting and recording the Zoom on her computer or something.
All right, guys. So this is the very first clip I have selected. I called it Jamie Took the Heat. So let's just listen to this for a second.
Coming off the It Ends With Us, Steph, I just want to say I see you, and it is exhausting. It's exhausting. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Jamie was the most exhausted out of everybody.
Well, he was, I'm sure, the go-between with Sony, right?
he was the go-between. He was the one who was taking the brunt of the hits, because you didn't see the brunt of the hits, like the slam jobs on us.
Oh, I didn't.
No, because nobody saw it.
Right.
Jamie was stopping it. So Jamie was stopping the worst of the worst. There was a point where they were trying to slam the Baha'i Faith. He got that done and out. So, basically...
Who was? Was it Sony or was it public? Yikes. That's icky. That's icky.
Oh, they went after everything we had. Luckily, I was out of it. So, like,
I'm glad.
nobody had mentioned me. I mean, but that's because I'm a nobody. I'm like, I'm nobody.
We know who you are.
Yeah, but
it's kind of a blessing. Let me tell you, it's kind of a blessing.
I know. Well, that's right. No, there's all these things that, because Blake and Ryan paid for the movie. I'm like, really? Really? Send me a check.
Every time I've seen that, or some of the comments I see, or on the flip, they'll say that Blake sold her cut back to, and I was like, that's not how it works. You own the footage. Like, that's not how it, and people will say it so confidently. And they'll be like, yeah, because they bankrolled the movie. And I'm like, that's not how that's not how it works.
So I just felt like this was a pretty interesting moment because I feel as though I feel like he's getting, there's a foundation here of him not really knowing what's going on.
Yes. I don't know if you want to put this up, but I actually, I uploaded a screenshot of this. This is Exhibit 53. And this is a text message between Justin Baldoni and Jamie Heath, where they are discussing keeping Steve Sarowitz in the dark. Where Justin Baldoni said, what does he know about Steve Sarowitz? And Jamie Heath says nothing. He knows that we got shut down for COVID. I haven't talked to him since then. So their COVID shutdown was in June of 2023. But all of May, right, the whole month before, there was a ton of sexual harassment allegations that Blake Lively had been very vocal about, right? Harassment by Justin Baldoni and Jamie Heath.
Right.
So they're basically saying on this that they're deliberately keeping him in the dark about that stuff. So in this recording, when Steve Sarowitz is talking about how, nobody runs a set as nice as Justin Baldoni or whatever, Justin Baldoni sets are really great. Well, he doesn't actually know anything that's going on there. And he was talking about in that clip that you just played that Jamie Heath is like kind of the meat shield. Like he's been the go-between with Sony and he's been dealing with everything. So I think that they're deliberately handling everything so that nothing has to get back to Steve Sarowitz. So it's like
you can see the text there. I've put it on the screen for you.
He's speaking of ignorance here. Did you put it up?
Yeah, I put it up. I don't know if anybody can really see it, unfortunately, and I don't.
Yeah, it just says. So he said, okay, from the top. Justin's just by the pool listening to stuff, trying to release if you can want to come here today. And he says, I'm in Philly. Okay. Jamie, he says, conversation's going really well. Alex is in a good place. I'm going to set it up for you two to talk, but you shouldn't share all that I've shared about what she says about you other than what I say now. Let's keep it up. And so Justin's like, Kaloff called me. I don't know what that's supposed to be. What does he know? So maybe they're talking about Steve Sarowitz. Maybe they're talking about this person, Kaloff. I have no idea what that is. So he goes, so nothing about Blake or drama. Jamie Heath goes, nope, of course not. He knows that she wasn't happy about getting COVID. Justin says, I mean, he's fine. I know that stuff. He's fine to know that stuff. He's our guy. Okay. Sorry. I was mistaken. They're talking about somebody else being kept in the dark. Okay, whoever Kaloff is.
Oh, it's not Sarowitz.
Okay, but further down it says, Justin says, I told Steve more today. Jamie Heath says, I talked to Steve last night also. I didn't share about the, in quotes, comments the ladies had feelings about. So he is not...
Which is a big fucking deal.
So Jamie Heath is not telling Steve Sarowitz about Justin Baldoni's comments that, in quotes, the ladies had feelings about. Okay?
What the text demonstrates is that they were definitely selective with what they shared with him or when they might have shared it with him. So we don't know what he knew or when he didn't or when he knew it. And maybe he doesn't also.
Jamie Heath says, didn't want to share anything you hadn't yet. These messages are sent May 28th, 2023. So that's so weird. The COVID shutdown happened the next month after. I guess I'm really confused about this. Nobody's an expert here. Justin said, I shared with him today. He said he should come by and he should come to sit and remind Blake whose money this is. And I said, that's not the best idea.
Well,
Jamie, he says, yeah, he said that too to me too regarding how difficult she is to work with. He doesn't quite get the nuance.
Well, we'll see. Let's continue.
So they're obviously managing him and what he knows and what everybody else is saying.
Right. So he's not this like this person that they're sitting down. And the reason that's very interesting to me is because how melancholy he is in this to me. He's very down. He sounds like a beaten down man. And and it's just interesting when you hear him in the way in which he's defending these people and speaking about them in general. It's very revealing to me. Here, let's listen to the next clip. This next clip.
Shannon O said, I think sit means set. So come to the set and remind Blake whose money this is.
Yeah, of course. Exactly. That comes up in this call as well. So here we go again. This is, once again, this takes place. Oh, sorry. I've labeled this, does Steve Sarowitz worship Rain and Justin? Does Steve Sarowitz worship these two men who are of the same faith as him and with whom they share this?
Rainn Wilson is what
Rainn Wilson and Justin Baldoni. They share this vision along with Jamie Heath of some kind of Baha'i faith system or production or like brand of that has, it's weird. It gets weird. Let's listen to this.
But he really, I was so grateful to work with him and just the way he approached the actors, and he still does, of being like...
So she's talking about Rainn Wilson here, okay?
I'm an equal. Like, I'm Rainn. Hello. Like, that for me...
Actually, you know what? Let me back it up a little more because I think just before this, she says... He says...
Just really, he would always, when he had a thought, he'd go, you don't have to take this. I was like, Rainn, I'm going to take your spot. It's going to be great. But he really, I was so grateful to work with him and just the way he approached the actors, and he still does, of being like, I'm an equal. Like, I'm Rainn. Hello. Like, that for me, for all of them, made them feel really seen and safe.
It must have been so starstruck to be working with Rainn Wilson.
They were, but he like from the first time we talked on the phone, he's like, I don't.
Like, is he dense? Did you hear that? Like, did he hear what she just said? She just described how everyone was like, yeah, everyone's just like, he's just like, I'm a regular guy. And everyone's like, okay, that's cool. And then he was like, they must have been starstruck. It was like, I was like, who is he talking about? Is he talking about them? Is he talking about them or is he talking about himself? Is he still sitting in awe of the fact that he gets to sit across from people like Rainn Wilson and Justin Baldoni and build some kind of Hollywood empire? Like, listen to it again just for me, if you would, because I just want to know that I'm not completely insane here. Listen to this.
Like, I'm Rainn. Hello. Like, that for me, for all of them, made them feel really seen and safe.
Interesting too that she used the word seen and the words seen and safe. That he was like, hey, I'm just a normal guy, just like you might expect, because I'm in a human suit after all. All right, here we go.
It must have been starstruck to be working with Rainn Wilson.
They were, but he like...
I'm absolutely dumbfounded by the fact that this guy... Okay.
He must have been starstruck to work with Rainn Wilson.
I mean, can you believe it? Like, they were all just sitting there going, like, yeah, one of them was crying. He's just in the corner. What's the matter, man? It's just been my life's goal to work with Rainn Wilson.
It's a dream come true,
It's a dream come true, and I just need a minute to collect myself. Is he near? I don't want him to see me like this. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I've worked with some cool people. Most people that I worked with are not sitting there in awe of the people they work with. They're working people. They're working in the industry. People aren't walking around the industry going, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. They're actually like, pick that fucking cable up, grab that fucking set of, get those Apple boxes in, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They're not like sitting around being awestruck. They're fucking making a movie.
Well, this is something that happened. So Rainn Wilson's celebrity experience is very unique, and it's possible that he thinks that he's the biggest shit ever because of the way that people treat him.
Exactly my thought.
There's people who are like super fans of The Office, and so they'll like lose their shit every time they see
sure.
him. There was a guy who was wearing a shirt that had Dwight Schrute on it on an airplane, like 2 seats over from Rainn Wilson, and he just took pictures of him and posted on his social media, like, should I tell him? And everybody was like freaking out. So I think that this guy's like, so I remember Rainn Wilson came into the coffee shop that I worked at, and I was like, I didn't say anything because, I'm not trying to make anybody's day uncomfortable.
Oh my God, it's Rainn Wilson.
I know, but I recognized him from the show, and
course.
I was like, oh, hey, like, you don't look anything like you're a character. Obviously, you did really great character work. Like, you don't you don't sound or look anything like that. Like, that's really impressive character work. But I didn't say anything to him. But it must be that when he goes out into the world that people like
worship him.
Well, I think that it's one of those things where like you play a really lovable comedic character and then you go out, you're super recognizable because you have a really unique face and you play that character super well. People are going to be really dazzled and like it's going to make their day that they saw this really lovable character.
It's just such a strange thing in this.
So that's what he gets from people all the time.
Yeah, I understand. It's just such a strange thing in this audio that, you know, she's like, yeah, no, we totally normalized having him on the set, which why wouldn't you? I mean, is you know.
What? It's so weird. Does
and
he
then
get like the
and
nice
then he comes
trailer?
out with they must have been starstruck. But what she says, you know, how she continues is also quite interesting.
Really?
So we'll just continue here a second.
They were, but he like from the first time we talked on the phone, he's like, I don't want them to feel intimidated by me. Like that was, and I relayed that to the team. I was like,
what the
Rain wants
fuck?
you to know. And he walked the walk when he got there. He like shook everyone's hand, including the extras who had no lines and like no names.
Like we're not talking
in the
about
movie.
Tom
He's
Cruise.
like, I'm Rain. It's so nice to meet you. Let's have fun. And
What the fuck? Like Elvis is in the building? What is going on here?
I love this part of this audio.
I fucking shook everybody's hand. Okay, great. What a fucking amazing out of the way kind of guy.
It's such a great.
I'm not banging on him, dude. Like Rainn Wilson's, I'm sure he's a great guy, but it's just like the whole fucking thing is weird to me. Like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? Where you guys are in the movie business? I've never seen so much I like so much celebrity worship just among themselves.
Well, I think that this says a lot about, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm just assuming, but it might say a lot about why Justin Baldoni carries himself this way. Because among these people, he's like a celebrity because he was on a TV show. So he must just be like, yes, it is me, Justin Baldoni. Aren't you happy to meet me?
Wow, it's just nuts. Okay, here we go. More.
like when I tell you, because that was like the vibe we were really cultivating on this set of making sure people felt safe. And he
Now, I mean, just did you hear that? Like, this is so interesting. Like, this is so interesting that this is. Did you hear what she said there? I mean, that is so revealing. Check it out. Like, why? So sorry. Why is this even in the conversation? I'm just shocked to hear this. Let's hear it again.
That was like the vibe we were when I tell you, because that was like the vibe we were really cultivating on this set of making sure people felt safe.
I mean, she's heard already about what was going down on this It Ends With Us. And here she is talking about making sure that everything was locked down and safe. I just found that very interesting.
It also, I think that she is speaking a language very much that's like filled with these like, what do they call them? The special words that she uses in these like woo-woo spaces.
Yeah.
She's talking about everybody feeling like having a safe space and feeling seen. And
if you're correct,
it's very like therapy talk that people sometimes use when they're. I think Justin Baldoni and they talk like this on a Man Enough podcast a lot.
Yeah. Well, if you're correct about this, and she is in fact, or had already, I should say, banned him from the set. If she had already said she doesn't want him anywhere near it, it just gets more and more interesting because he just immediately tries to characterize Justin
On this set of making sure people felt
as this very same kind of person. Check it out.
Because that was like the vibe we were really cultivating on this set of making sure people felt safe. And wow, what a gift. What a gift.
The irony is Justin is just like that. And like you think to me and
the irony is Justin is just like that. He makes everyone feel like everyone is safe on the set. I mean, that can't be true. Oh, my goodness. Okay, keeping going.
It Ends With Us set. So you hear two different sets. It's like, wait a second, which set was it? Was it the set that Brandon Sklenar talked about, where it was amazing?
Yeah.
Or was it the set that Brandon Sklenar talked about?
Honestly, it's so tricky, especially, I don't know. Because I wasn't there, so I don't know what it was like.
I was.
You were there. Was it bad?
No.
Oh, God.
Justin never has a bad set.
Justin never has a bad set. What is it? How does he know? He was visiting. We know the days he was visiting. So how does he know he never has a bad set?
Well, here's what he follows that up with.
Yes, it was the worst set he's ever been on, but...
Yes, it was the worst set he's ever been on.
Justin never has a bad set. Yes, it was the worst set he's ever been on.
It's his set.
It's his set.
I love how
Justin doesn't have a bad set.
He's using this language.
Yes, it was the worst set he's ever been on.
I love that he's using this language. The lawyers are doing this too, where they're selectively using language that removes culpability. What do you mean it was the worst set he's ever been on? It's his set. What do you mean? What do you mean?
How is that even possible?
That's his set.
How does he say out of one hand, Justin doesn't have a bad set, never has a bad set? Mm-hmm. And then on the other, right, the very fucking next line out of his mouth is, yes, it's the worst set he's ever been on.
I just think that don't you recognize this, that he's removing any culpability from that language? Like he's phrasing it in a way in which it doesn't blame Justin for having the worst set. I suppose that's what he's trying to set up, yes.
Let's see where he goes. But this clip I found extraordinarily interesting. Here we go.
No, it wasn't bad. I was there on set. It was, Justin is really kind and loving, and he's like Rain. So you imagine Rain's running a set. It's just, it's a Baha'i set. It's never.
Oh my God. I mean,
it's a Baha'i set?
Yeah, he called it the Baha'i set. And listen, here's the problem that he runs into immediately by doing this, okay? By calling it the Baha'i set. As soon as you call it the Baha'i set, you are now imposing a religious belief on your work environment, right? Like I said when I made the Christian movie, I said, hey, this is not a Christian set. It was the first thing I said. Like, I want to make sure that everybody on this set is comfortable. Mm-hmm. Okay? So this is not a Christian set.
Yeah, because they didn't crew up exclusively from Baha'i people.
No. This is a crew making a Christian movie. This is not a Christian crew. We had the conversation. Let me just say, we had the fucking conversation on this movie before we started it. And I was like, nah, it's not happening. We're not doing that. I'm not going to bring a crew in that has to conform to your ideas or your ideals. No fucking way. Mm-hmm. That's never happening. I want people to be able to come on the set, earn their living, and go home to their families. That's what I want. That's what we're going to do. Because that's how it fucking works around here. And for those who are
and the reason why you
of
did that,
faith, they can go off and pray and do their thing.
The reason why you did that is why? Because you want everybody to feel comfortable and not challenged to do anything there.
Yeah, because we're making a Christian movie. We're not a Christian organization. I didn't want anyone to feel excluded. Mm-hmm. Right. I didn't want also our line producer to be sitting there. Our line producer, those are the producers in movies who do a lot of your crewing up. And they not only got to crew up, they got to take care of the revolving door, because you also have you have crew members getting sick. You have crew members who have other gigs that come up or whatever it might be, especially if you're working independently. And so you have this person, a line producer, this crucial human being who then like makes sure that they fill in those places. Well, if we've got some super Christian set going on and they got the best gaffer in town, but he's an atheist, I want him on my fucking set, dude. I want his light.
Are you in your dot?
What are you talking about?
Are you leaning out of your dot?
I'm good.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. It's my voice that matters. My beautiful, beautiful voice.
That's a really good point. If the best line producer in town is an atheist, we want him on our project.
Yeah, if the best fucking gaffer available is an atheist, I don't want to leave him out.
But this is what happens.
And I also don't want him to show up and think, what the fuck did I just get myself into?
So we're hearing the perspective of Steve Sarowitz, who is a billionaire.
Correct.
Which really, really narrows the scope of the kind of people you can hang out with.
And it adds an intimidation factor, by the way, to the whole thing.
No, of course. So not only is he a billionaire, and so he's only got a very small group of friends and associates he can even possibly get in touch with, because, like you can't, when you're a billionaire, like you can't just like hang out with the poors. It doesn't work that way.
No, it sure doesn't.
And he's also further making his group exclusive by only wanting to hang out with Baha'i people. And I guess the reason why he does that is because he thinks that they're the only good people or something. Like if you're Baha'i, you're trustworthy. Like that's a stamp on you. It doesn't matter.
And the worst part about it is like he's trying to, like he's saying it as if, of course it's a wonderful, safe environment made of kind, loving people because it's a Baha'i set. And to me, that's already like he's already showing signs that he's detached from the reality of the makeup of his set.
Yes, especially if he doesn't recognize that there was harassment that went on and now he's in a litigation because of it. Like, how foolish.
It continues too, and I'm sure some of you have already heard this, but he continues with this Baha'i thing, and so it's starting to look a lot like this billionaire who's trying to use this rich form of media to try to propagandize potentially his faith, which is like, he's not the first to do this, obviously, but I just found it like quite interesting. All right, let's listen on. But yes, he called it a Baha'i set, and that immediately offended me. because I don't want anything to do with that. Right now, I say offended me, didn't offend me, but
No, but he also has like Blake Lively coming in to, she's not in that faith, and a bunch of other people aren't coming. So what are you calling it that for?
It's not a Baha'i faith. That's a Baha'i set, I should say. But there is no such thing as a Baha'i set. It's a movie set. Baha'i is a faith, and it's your faith. And you can, of course, you're entitled to it, and you can express it in any way you see fit. But the one thing you should show is discretion in the workplace, so that you could create an inclusive environment.
It's wild.
It's like real easy.
Religious people are so.
And it's not about being like some kind of like it's not about there's a fucking controversy around DEI and shit like this. This is about common respect in a place where we are living amongst others.
It also just it makes it seem like to me like, okay, so people who have this like just blanket trust of people within their own religion. Like if it's a Baha'i set, then that means nothing bad can happen and nobody's going to do anything wrong. Like it just makes me feel like, okay, so he's really easy to trick.
Yeah.
So he's somebody who you could just be like, oh no, I'm on your team, I'm in your tribe, and I can do anything I want to you, and you'll trust me because I'm of the same tribe as you. Like it just seems like he's opening himself up to be really
club.
tricked. Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes a boys' club. And by the way, it's run by men. It is a boys' club. Mm-hmm. It is a boys' club.
That's right.
Under the guise of being, this Baha'i faith, it's a boys' club. And he's calling that boys' club his set environment. And that doesn't sound like a voluntary situation. That doesn't sound like I could just show up and not be, because it's a very interesting thing, because they put this defense out with regards like the hugging and the touchy-feely kindness, I think they like to refer to it as, while others might find it harassing.
Did you also, did you mark the part where he talks about how he wants to keep making media for women? Because you say it's a boys' club, but
I don't know. I don't know.
He does later at a different part in this conversation. He talks about how it's very profitable to keep making media for women.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's not jump ahead. If I don't, we can try to find it. If I didn't, I'm not sure if I did, so I can't really answer that.
I just think it's interesting. You call it a boys' club. It's run by a bunch of dudes, but they're specifically targeting women audiences. Like they're making content for women.
By the way, like I just want to point out, like another thing that he doesn't understand with this touchy-feely shit is and this also shows that until then they hadn't really worked with any like high level, but for Rain, of course, any super high level talent. Because these people who are like massive stars, they are exhausted by gawkers. They are exhausted by people who want to get a touch of feel. Mm-hmm. They're exhausted by all that. They want their solitary. They want their solitude. They want their privacy. They want these kinds of things because they don't have them. They don't have them in life. Like if you want to create a great environment, a safe environment for a movie star on the set, is an environment where they're not treated like movie stars, where they're not like, and this is like a good example of an egregious use of that would be on this set would be putting your best friend between the actor's legs. I don't care if there was shorts on or not.
Yeah, right.
Putting your best friend there.
There's never been
a good example of not creating an environment that is made up of like, I'm not going to treat you like a star. I'm going to treat you like a coworker.
But Dale, there's never been a problem on a Justin Baldoni set. Because they're Baha'i sets.
He's perfect, I know. Here we go. Let's listen to more of this absolutely wild shit. A Baha'i set.
Baha'i set. It's never going to be like that. No, it was just everything was made up. It was manufactured, and it was manufactured on purpose in order to take Justin down. Now,
that sounds utterly delusional to me because there's no why. Like to take Justin down? Why would you want to take Justin down? Well, I know why. I know why you'd want to take Justin down. It might be the truth, by the way. Blake Lively, I've said this time and again, Blake Lively might have been like, oh, wait a second, dude. This guy's the man enough guy. This is the guy who's supposed to be the pearly gates for fucking women trying to break out of the grips of men and the suppression and oppression of men in a male-driven industry, particularly around things like producing, by the way. But it doesn't matter where you go in Hollywood, you'll find it's male-dominated. You'll find that the men make more money. The men dominate the higher fucking job categories than they have across the board in America, period, right? But it's especially egregious in Hollywood. And it certainly has been especially egregious in Hollywood. So anyway, it's just...
No, but when she got onto set and he starts fucking like...
He
starts like open mouth kissing her.
Right. And just making all these, and these gestures and these things we hear from Jamie Heath. I guess we shouldn't hug. We've already had our first HR complaint. So now she's sitting in an environment where
sharks.
Like, listen to this woman, right? Claire, who people are going to fucking bag on because she's really hard to listen to. And it sucks because I just think that what she suffers from is probably some major ADHD, I should say. Like probably major ADHD. I don't know if she was majorly fucking like caffeinated and also like wildly excited because she knows she's taping this. She knows that she's somewhat now in some way wedging herself in the middle of this thing in some way. And and I think she's probably recording because, again, if you're right, and she did already ask Justin Baldoni not to be on the set, that this call she might be viewing as an opportunity for him to try and clear that up and, try to like, coerce her in some way to, testify in a different manner or, if she were asked to or whatever. So who knows why she recorded it. But again, if it's in fact because after the fact of, having her banning, I should say, Justin from the set, then it makes sense that she would record it. It does. I totally understand why she would do it. But, they're going to bag on her. I listened to her 3 fucking times. Trust me, man, it's not even a phone call I'd ever want to have with another human being just because it was just difficult to listen to. But I don't think it's her personality on display necessarily. I think there's a lot going on there. I think there's a lot of excitement. I think there's a lot of tension. I think there's some fear, and that just comes out in all these different ways because she doesn't sound very sincere most of the time.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. I'm just pointing out because I did see somebody say something like, that she irks or whatever. And I get it. But remember what we're talking about. We're not talking about her. This is the easy distraction, right? What we're talking about is his behavior in this situation because I think it's, it tells a lot about what's going on. And I think it's really good news for Blake in her case.
I just think that I think it's interesting because Steve Sarowitz says so many troubling things, right? Where he's basically he's really boasting about how great Justin is to somebody who has had a bad experience with him. Yeah. So that's really minimizing and really like that's a little gaslighty, Yes. And I also think that when he went full like bloodthirsty with his language about what he was going to do to Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds if they challenged him, I also think that was a direct threat to her too, but I don't think she actually received those threats because the entire time she's just waiting for her chance to talk. There's several times where he'll say something, he'll provide some input, and then she'll just continue on the same track of thinking before he said anything. I don't know that she's really listening. So it must have felt really weird for Steve Sarowitz to be like providing this very important information.
That's the thing about it, by the way, that you just bring that up, because like the one thing about it that this tape did do for Steve Sarowitz for me was like it did humanize him, because like he was melancholy in my opinion.
He's very calm. He's like, I did not expect him to say such harsh words very calmly. It's actually really eerie. Yeah.
He got humanized by, and that was something. That was like a bit of an achievement for me because I don't know if I was, if I had his human suit in mind.
Because
really.
You think he's being lied to.
Well, I don't think that he has the entire truth. I think he's delusional within his faith, and we'll continue. Let's continue. Continue. Here we go. We'll talk more about this after it's all done, but I got a few more points here to get through, so let's go ahead and do it.
Well, I said it's never going to be like that. No, it was just everything was made up. It was manufactured, and it was manufactured on purpose in order to take Justin down.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry because I know the intentions of making the movie were with such a purpose. I'm sorry to have this going on. I'm hoping
it didn't take Justin down.
No, I'm hoping it's winding down. Fingers crossed.
I think it's going, well, Hollywood still got a hold of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so the next spot this is interesting. So this is before the lawsuit. And in this statement, he mentions that the PR are engaged. And you can hear, like later, he starts saying things that are like they sound like the PR, like coming from the PR to her. They sound like it's the messaging coming from the PR.
Yeah, because this is August where they're already engaged with them for, I mean, they had Jones Works working on the Wayfair account for a long time. Yeah. But they've just gotten, I don't know what the date is, but I know that it was the very beginning of August. Okay. When they began using Melissa Nathan.
Yeah. So and listen to him because he's like, listen to this because this is in this part, he's dividing up the social media in terms of who's where in their rankings of social media. So check it out.
Yeah.
There's Reddit is a little bit more even, but Reddit just seems mean spirited.
Reddit can be very weird. I've been on some pages that are like for plus size fashion and stuff. It's very supportive, but I think it's also
Just
there are different
steamrolls.
corners of it where people go just to be like terrible.
Yeah.
Reddit freaks me out. Reddit freaks me out.
Oh, they're both assholes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, Reddit freaks me out.
You
It's
have
just
no idea what you're talking
That's
about.
the
You
thing.
haven't read anything. You haven't watched anything. You're just trying to be mean.
yeah, and like that's the thing. We're also there's a big
She
push
didn't let
right
him
now
talk.
about parasocial relationships. Like I don't know if you know the singer Chapel Roan. She just blew up the
So I won't go to the end because she just doesn't stop talking. You know, she just doesn't stop talking.
She doesn't do any listening either.
She almost interrupts him every time he speaks.
I
Like
know it.
he barely gets. Sometimes he doesn't even get like 2 words out, and she's trampling on him.
Well, that long quote that Blake Lively used in her litigation is uninterrupted.
Here it is.
Miraculously.
Here it is.
So, are you able to take a vacation soon, Steve? Do you get to rest your brain?
No, but mine isn't so bad. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Jamie was one working till 11 o'clock at night. I just checked in occasionally.
This is why I think they were selectively keeping things from him. I think they were still doing that, even though the PR is obviously involved at this point. I just know, man. You know, I went through, as you guys know, I went through a fucking giant lawsuit with Leonardo DiCaprio, and shit popped up where you're just like, what? Huh? I mean, all the way, even till after the lawsuit shit was coming up, where I was like, he signed a what contract? Like, just crazy shit happening. So I just can't help but wonder if Steve Sarowitz has been sitting around since this conversation and going, yeah, hey, Justin, it's me. So did that really fucking happen? Did you really say you want to fucking paint him as a fucking scab when he wasn't one? Were you gonna
No, that idea came from Steve Sarowitz, babe.
Oh well, there you
Remember?
I
He
didn't know.
he said my partner Steve and I were talking and we came up with a way to twist the story
Oh, so he's
about
involved in the lies?
Yes,
Here we
he's
go.
helping.
Here we go. Jesus Christ. Here we go.
There was a week that was long for me when we thought we were going to have to go into court.
Oh
And
God.
I still don't know that we won't have to go into court.
Sure.
I just know that for right now, it seems like détente. And then if they persist and they push to the limits, then we'll go to court. And then it's all on me. Then I'll be working harder than Jamie did because
It's gonna be protecting this.
So she got in the way of that. She cut him off, but he was going to say something like, I'm going to go to war, or you hear him, he's ready to gear up for it. And then of course it ends up, it's interesting because she might have like accidentally got the Daimon to like switch the rails and put him on this Hamas conversation.
No, he comes up with that though.
No, I'm saying, but she kind of
play
changes she kind of shifts the whales here. Check it out. Or the rails. You know what I'm saying.
It's gonna be protecting the
See
studio,
right there.
I will protect the studio like Israel protected itself from Hamas.
You will always
There were
regret
39,000 dead
saying
bodies.
that.
There will be 2 dead bodies when I'm done. Minimum.
I'm sorry.
Protected itself from Hamas. No, there were 39,000 dead bodies. There will be 2 dead bodies when I'm done. Minimum.
She sounds like a fucking pager buzzing on the counter.
Dale, this is the most important quote that he is
course.
offering.
Yeah, it's so disturbing.
Okay, play it.
Sorry.
Working harder than Jamie did because
It's gonna be protecting the studio, right?
I will protect the studio like Israel protected itself from Hamas. No, there were 39,000 dead bodies. There will be 2 dead bodies when I'm done. Minimum. And so not dead, but dead to you're dead to me.
You're dead to me.
So that kind of dead, but dead to a lot of people.
So no, to me, that is the key thing. So he says the dead comment. It's obviously just so ridiculous. He says dead to me is covering up his obvious fucking
Death threat?
loose-lipped stupid
Yeah,
shit.
That's a literal death threat.
But here's what he said though. That is so interesting.
he
in this
stupid?
thing.
Can you
He
be a
said there's
billionaire and be
it's gonna
stupid?
dead to a lot of people.
But dead to a lot of people.
Dead to a lot. Now that's the fucking key. And this is the problem.
That he wants to bury her in this town.
This is what Leo did to me. This is what there's this viciousness that comes, you know, that crosses so many fucking
it's
boundaries.
true. It's like I'm not just gonna break up with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure that everyone breaks up with you.
You're gonna be dead to a lot of people. I'm gonna fucking harm you. I'm gonna scorch the earth you stand on.
Why is he allowed to do that?
Because you're upset at me and I'm upset at you. They couldn't keep their dispute contained in his own mind. In this situation, he couldn't keep the dispute contained. And people get like Leo, like my argument with Leo over Donald's poem, that should have just stayed with us. It should not have leaked out. I shouldn't have lost every fucking friend I had or every opportunity I had. I shouldn't have lost every goddamn thing in my life because me and Leo had a fucking fight.
That's right.
Here's Steve Sarowitz talking about his premeditated intention, right? To figuratively unalive these people to a lot of people.
He's saying, he doesn't say figuratively. He doesn't say like not literally. He straight up says it. I can't believe it.
Yeah, but he does mean their career. He does mean their reputation. It's very clear. Here we are. Like he's not, this guy's not like a serial killer in disguise here. This is a guy who's, using it in a figurative sense.
No, I understand. But what this definitely does is support Blake Lively's case that she is being retaliated against.
Completely. I don't think there's any other way to look at that because he says, well, let's continue.
If they ever get me to that point, then I'll make it worth their while because I'm going to spend a lot of money to make sure the studio is protected. But I don't think we'll go there.
Yeah, I hope not. As someone who
that's not the world I want to live in.
No. I hope it goes away. I just hope it goes away, or that people lose interest or realize it's harming everyone's career.
Yeah, I think that we'll just probably for years.
Yeah.
This is not going to go away. I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon.
Yeah.
We'll have to be defensive for years because there'll be stuff coming at us. I will be defensive for years. So if they ever cross the line, then I will go after them.
Yeah. I mean, it's so interesting because, like, again, if she in fact did say, hey, I want this guy off my set.
Yeah, I think he's telling her that deliberately.
Yeah, like,
I want you to know.
If at any point in time you fucking cross me, I'm
going
coming
to
for you.
defend my company, is what he said to her. And if anybody crosses the line, yes.
Like he's talking about like, hey, if you're thinking about it now or in the future, I want you to know that as a billionaire, with all the resources that I use to make your movie, I can use to destroy your movie. I
think this is it's very easy to recognize that this is what he is saying to her. The reason why he's saying all this to her is because he wants her to hear it. But I think it's gone right over her head.
These guys are supposed to be the smartest guys in the room, right? Mr. fucking billionaire, Mr. I know how to make things work, Mr. No, like this is to me a veiled threat.
Yeah, I don't think that Claire got it in the moment. She probably listened to this after and was like, "Holy shit, he's threatening me right here."
Or somebody did for her, right?
But I think,
by the way, I don't know if you realize this, but he's literally threatening you, and she'd be like, "Me? What? Oh my god!"
She does seem in this whole call that she is just waiting for the next opportunity to talk, or she's thinking about what she's going to say next. I don't think she's paying attention.
Listen, I don't know Steve Sarowitz. I know that his comparison to Hamas and to the dead Palestinians. Victims of this Palestinian tragedy, that to me really is just something that I think everyone who ever knows him and that came out of his mouth, it'll always be top of mind.
Why do you think that he wanted this audio released?
It's a great question. We can get into that now, I suppose, or maybe when we finish. But the real like
we can postpone it. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can postpone it. My short answer is because I believe it humanized him, but I also believe that it got some messages across that he thought would be helpful, but I don't think will be. And we'll talk about that later as we finish this. But let's get back to it. Here we go.
Jamie at one point called me up and said, "I think we're going to need you."
Yeah.
And we have lawyers ready to go. We have our press people, our PR people working. We haven't had to engage the lawyers.
They're working. This is the key. This is what I was telling you, man. They're already working. So the PR people are at it. And you heard him like, he was just talking about Reddit. If I backed it up a little bit, there's another section in which he talks about other social media. Like he said something about how they're doing good on Instagram. It's pro Justin on Instagram.
Pro Baldoni, yeah.
Pro Baldoni on another platform. And then he was TikTok. It was actually. Here we go.
As much yet.
That's
so.
good. That's a good sign. That's a good sign because
well,
that gets ugly.
Nothing's really hit our studio. You know, like it's never like basically people love Justin and they still love Justin.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
And if you meet Justin, how could you not love Justin?
I know, but yeah.
So my question is he infatuated with this man?
Well, also he's saying that to her. He's basically saying, I don't want to hear about you having a problem with Justin because everybody loves Justin. And if you meet Justin, how could you not love Justin? So he's basically saying to her in like veiled language, if you bring me allegations about Justin, there's no reason why I have to believe you because he's a fucking saint in my eyes.
Here's a plausible scenario for me. This guy's being completely he's being grifted by Heath and Baldoni.
Yeah, that's true.
And here's why I think so. Here's why I think that it's a possibility because, when he said Baha'i, it's a Baha'i set.
Yeah.
When he said that, man, that felt like that's something like a pact almost. It felt like something you're like he's repeating from like a conversation where. Okay, here's a quick and funny story. Some of you may have heard this already, but I'm just a quick and funny story. All right, before we get to the next part, because this is sort of how I feel like the grift is going on. Hollywood is filled with grifters, and I mean they're fucking everywhere. All right, it's okay. Hollywood is filled with grifters, and I mean they're fucking everywhere. They are bloody everywhere, and they will try everything to get in the room. Their big grift is always money, big bags of money. They have big bags of money, big bags of money. We had one. He came. He was going to buy us Lamborghinis. He was going to give us it wasn't 100 million. He was going to give us $20 million for this movie that we were going to make. He was going to give us $12 million to buy this little mini studio across from Paramount. That was like a record studio that Adam Levine, all these people were working at. When we got there, we were like, there was this, you should have seen the studio. It was beautiful. And we were just fucking $12 million. This guy was going to buy everything. Turned out he was a total fucking scammer, this guy. He was lying to us the whole time and grifting us literally for like meals. Basically for meals. We were taking him out. We go and like, hey, let's go look at the studio. Yeah, we're going to get it, $12 million. I'll send it off to the account. You guys hungry? Let's go get some food. And we'd always pick up the fucking tab. And we did that for 2 straight weeks.
This is a super common grift where the whole grift revolves around the person claiming to be and posing as if they're super wealthy.
They tell you everything that you want to know.
Yeah.
They never bring any fucking bad news to the table. If there's any kind of bad news, they reverse it into something fucking positive. Right? You have Jamie Heath, you have Justin Baldoni in the Baha'i faith. They have a Baha'i billionaire. They're already talked about high in the levels of, because they're celebrity Baha'i, right? Between Rainn Wilson and between Justin Baldoni. I've always said, like, I've always told people, like, you want to see how quick Hollywood likes me? Just give me a fucking billionaire. Just give me a billionaire. I'll show you how fucking quickly Hollywood's like, Dale Wheatley's a good guy. Dale Wheatley's a fine young man.
That's true. I never believed a word they said about him.
I'm not going to get in between 2 people fighting, but I'm not going to let that get in the way of a perfectly good opportunity. Come on in, Dale Wheatley. I've never said a bad word about you. So I think that, one of the pitches that would come out of my mouth if I was grifting this motherfucker in Hollywood would be like, it's not a fucking movie set. It's a Baha'i set.
Yeah, because you identify what the guy, what he likes, what he wants, and then you make sure that you're always giving it to him. So if he wants his faith to be at the forefront of everything that he does with his business, you're going to be like, that's exactly what we're going to do.
It doesn't stop there, though. It really starts at the personality that he responds to. Listen to the way he speaks about Justin Baldoni, right? It just sounds like he's being fucking grifted. Like he's talking about Justin Baldoni like he's the fucking like Christ reborn, like resurrected, I guess, not reborn. I don't know how that works.
He's never done anything wrong.
Like, listen to the way he speaks about this man.
He's already been sued a bunch of times.
My point is that he's getting this version of Justin Baldoni that is this perfect version of a human being. And I think that Justin has this ability to do this. I think he's extremely, wildly charismatic. I think he knows how to put so much of a front on. He talked about in his book, the suit of armor that he's talking about. I think it's more than that. I think it's like this facade. I think his armor is a facade. I think the suit of armor that he's talking about is that inauthentic version of him that everyone loves so much. And why that's so interesting conceptually is because this is what actors do. When you talk about, you just talked about having fucking Rainn Wilson walking in and you're like, oh my God, you're not that guy.
Yeah, I was really impressed.
So they create these like versions of themselves. I've seen them do it. Industry smile. I've heard people tell me I have to have it, you know? And I was like, what the fuck is that? It's not just the smile. It's how you set yourself up as your front face to the industry. So these guys, so this guy's just listening to this guy, Justin Baldoni, be a fucking, and Justin Baldoni is a very persuasive person. I used to say, this is the thing about Tobey Maguire that's very interesting about him. And I feel like Justin has potentially the same dynamic. Toby's the most loving guy, bro. Like, I'm telling you, this guy made me feel so safe around him. He made me feel so loved and secured in that conversation, the very same conversation that he used to utterly, completely destroy my career and my reputation in Hollywood. In that conversation, he told me he was going to have my back. He was going to pay for my acting lessons with one of the best acting coaches in all of Hollywood, that he was going to, just totally help me in every possible way, help me financially, help me, emotionally, help me as a friend. He created all of this space for me to feel incredibly safe so that he could tear me down. Justin Baldoni, in my opinion, and Jamie Heath, I think there's just a reasonable amount of circumstantial evidence to suggest that this guy himself has been bamboozled. And you have this evidence you presented earlier where they're talking about what to say and what not to say to Steve Sarowitz. And he's very highly principled, he's got high principles, whether or not we agree with them or not. You can hear them present in everything that he says. Again, you're only getting these clips, and the rest of them are basically her talking. Anyway, let's continue.
Nothing's really hit our studio. It's never, basically people love Justin and they still love Justin.
Yeah, that's good.
And if you meet Justin, how could you not love Justin?
I know. But yeah, I'm just glad.
I mean, he sounds in love with the guy.
Sending all the good energy. I hope it stays safe.
I hope it stays safe. Safe, safe, safe. She says it over and 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 again. After she knows that shit went bad on a different set.
You see how she doesn't know how to respond to him saying anybody that knows Justin loves Justin after she already had beef with him? I think that she doesn't know. She's definitely not going to contradict Steve Sarowitz on this phone call. She recognizes that that's not a path she's going to go down. But she doesn't know what to say because she's had personal bad experience with him. So she's like, I don't know. I hope everything works out.
I find this tape so fascinating.
I know, me too.
Okay, so this is some more stuff that I find it's just so wild. All right.
For us, especially creating that kind of a fun experience with the catwalk and just Steve, thank you. We're so freaking excited to do the screening there. And to have us be together for that is so.
She's doing the screening at the Baha'i Theater that they created an exhibitor. They're exhibitors. Did you know that?
It exists already?
Yeah. Listen to this.
Oh, exciting.
You're going to love
I
the
can't
theater
wait.
itself.
I can't wait. I love a theater. Theaters make me feel, this is why my friend and I are friends. Theaters make us feel very safe and we're about to explore a different universe.
She says safe a lot.
Our theater is not a typical theater.
I love it.
You heard much about it?
I know that the point of it is wait, do you mean the actual?
She fucking loves something she hasn't even seen or know anything about.
She's
just saying
bullshitter, bro.
She's a bullshitter. I mean, she's bullshitting right now.
It stresses me out to listen to somebody who's such a bullshitter.
It's crazy.
I'm you're gonna get caught bullshitting.
She just did.
She
just fucking got caught.
The point of it is wait, do you mean the actual space? Oh wait, walk me through. No, I know about what you're offering, but I don't know about the space.
I love it.
You walk in and there's a hologram of Justin and Jamie and Tara and me saying welcome to Wayfair and
Oh my God.
Okay, when he said this is what I imagined was leave it to a billionaire to put together the imagery of Total Recall and fucking Blade Runner, the remake, which is so dystopian and eerie, right? Where they have holograms of people being
Princess Leia,
welcome to Wayfair Theater. Welcome to Wayfair Theater on repeat or whatever.
And it's not just a movie experience, it is a Baha'i movie experience.
You're doing animatronics though, but this is like a hologram, so it would be super eerie. But like, leave it to a billionaire to see those movies and be like, yeah, that looks really great. I love that aesthetic, instead of recognizing that
I can't believe this. Well,
like the end times.
Let me finish this. This is just a minute or less. There's a hologram of Justin Baldoni greeting people at theaters.
He's so into themselves.
I think this guy worships them.
See that, dude?
Check it out. Here we go.
He fucking loves themselves.
It's insane.
You walk in and there's a hologram of Justin and Jamie and Tara and me.
Oh my God.
On the Wayfair and
Oh my God, I'm obsessed.
And then there's you walk upstairs. Actually, when you walk in your right, it says Flowers of One Garden Community, so community board.
Love it.
And you walk upstairs and it says Oneness. Then there's a 9-pointed Baha'i star on the ceiling.
A 9-pointed.
That's where they do the ritual sacrifices, right?
That's where they sacrifice the babies.
Okay, gotcha.
There's a 9-pointed Baha'i. So this guy has, listen, I'm telling you, this is why I think it's a big it's just been a big grift the whole time. They're like getting this guy's money. By the way, I didn't play it for you, but he says earlier, when there's a point in which she asks him for a friend if he can talk about being an exhibitor, or I don't know what the fuck it is, or being an independent studio. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, have they got a lot of money? Because I've lost a lot of money. That loss is funneled directly to Wayfair. That loss is Wayfair's loss, bro. The loss he's talking about is the money that he's shelling out to Jamie and to Justin, who are angels.
But he doesn't care because it's a monopoly money to him. It's just like game money. Like, he's a fucking billionaire. He's never going to spend it.
I'm not saying he cares what he cares about. He cares about the studio.
But it's amazing that he has these people who keep losing him money, and then
No, but I'm saying he's got the grift is on, is what my point. I think that, like, here he is now. He's got that. They sold this whole thing. Or I'm sure it just, like when you're grifting, you're like, dude, it doesn't have to stop there. We could do anything. Tell him the idea. Well, what if we became exhibitors too? Not knowing that there was that the studios thought about that back in the fucking beginning of Hollywood, and they got broken up by the government as a monopoly.
Tell him about the hologram idea. He's gonna love it. Listen to this, Steve.
Hey, tell him about that. Hey, wait. Yeah, well, I was working on this movie once, and this guy's got a hologram machine. Like, it's the fucking craziest thing. People are going to be standing there looking right into Justin Baldoni's dreamy eyes. It's just the fucking most unhinged shit. All right, here we go.
You don't have to play the rest of this clip because
I'm going to play.
Describes the cafe.
Okay.
It starts normal after this.
Redone. There's a big screen in the back showing the movies we make, and there's a cafe, and then as you walk down the hallway, there's kind of cool carpeting and ceiling. And there's also a Lily Bloom's flower shop right now.
I love that. I know. I saw that from the screen from social. I did. I thought it looked very cool.
A sign that says, "Where there is love, nothing is too much trouble, and there's always time."
Love it.
At the end of the hall. So, basically, what I'm saying is that it's a Baha'i inspired, open Baha'i inspired movie theater, but
which is beautiful.
Everyone knows, like, we will not play violent movies. We will not play horror movies.
There you go.
He won't play violent movies. He can't play. It Ends With Us.
There's too much violence in It Ends With Us to exhibit at his
It Ends With Us can't play at his own theater.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. But the other thing is there's another part in this that I didn't play for you where he talks to her about how, she was like, I'm so impressed with what you've got to focus on, whatever else. And he was like, well, look, he's like, we tried to stay focused on the domestic violence, but we tried our best, but we couldn't get it. He's literally standing in a theater that he's saying is Baha'i faith inspired, saying that there cannot be violence or horror films played there, but yet their entire focus, they wanted their movie to be on, was the violence, the domestic violence, not the woman overcoming it. Wild to me. Mm-hmm. Super wild. All right, I got one more. Well, two more. Yeah, this thing is juicy. I mean, for real. All right, here we go.
Huge. So I'm very excited. So
I love this women's empowerment. We have another. I think I told you another first-time director we supported.
Yes. A woman named Scarlett Johansson. Yeah.
Did you know this? They worked with Scarlett.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So excited for her.
Listen to this though.
I'm so
we're
excited
trying
for
to get
her.
her first big break. Maybe people will hear of her.
I
after
mean,
this.
but Scarlett Joe, who? I can't. I love it. No, but honestly, every time you're a first-time feature director, it's your first time being a feature director. It's tough. I love that.
She's just so the fuck over the place. It's just, you don't have to talk. You don't. You cannot talk for 1 second. Try. Just try. Go like this. As soon as you want to say something, just shut up. I mean, I got to take my own advice, but here we go.
She was so cool, calm, collected, and
I'm glad.
confident.
No,
And nice.
which is what you want, and just professional, right? You want someone who's professional, who like.
I don't, it's so interesting because you work with so many people, and almost everybody's nice. And then there's Blake, who's just
Play it.
Just,
totally different than everyone else. It's like,
I'm sorry.
it's like, not to say anything bad about her, but
he just said there's all these nice people, and then there's Blake. Not to say anything bad about her, but she's not nice.
she's different.
There you go.
Different.
And I don't,
And she's a big star. This is what they didn't understand, how to deal with that. Because it's a more complicated thing than just dealing with, Justin Baldoni level talent. I'm not dissing on him. I'm just saying he's not a big fucking giant star. He doesn't have people throwing themselves at their fucking feet everywhere they walk.
I think for the most part, most people see what we're doing, see we're nice, and they're nice back. Even if they weren't perfectly nice. And I just think, some people forgot to learn how to be nice.
That's it. That's the story.